Hello everyone, and today I am happy to talk about a light I have been using for the past month, and that is the GVM AIO 500B. This is a bicolor, super powerful all-in-one light, similar to the Zhiyun Molus B500 from Zhiyun, as it's also an all-in-one light. Today I'm going to be not necessarily doing a technical review, but this is going to be more quick, going over some of the positives I like, the negatives, but more importantly, using this light in real world experiences, using it on paid jobs and using it out on actual locations. That is what we're going to show and what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm also going to be comparing this to the Molus B500, as this is probably going to be its most direct competitor, given the fact that they're both are actually around the same price. So all that and more in today's video. What's going on, everybody? James Jackson here, back again with another video. If you're new here, I do tips, tricks, news, and reviews for the film and video making industry. So if this is content that you like, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can stay up to date on all the content going forth. So as I said at the top, today we are going to be talking about the GVM AIO 500B. For those of you that may not be familiar with this light, what exactly is it? Well, it is a all-in-one light. The AIO stands for all-in-one. It is a bicolor light that goes from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 6500 Kelvin. Full disclosures ahead, GVM did send me this light out for review. Now, while no money was exchanged, I do get to keep this light in exchange for this review. Therefore, it is technically a paid review, but GVM does not get to see this video before it's released, before you guys do it, and they don't get a say or anything of what I say. All of these are my true opinions. And also, I would like to just point out that any video that you see on this channel, I thoroughly believe that there's value to it. Otherwise, it doesn't get released to the channel. If that's the case, the product would just get sent back. So, given the fact that you guys are seeing this video, that tells you that I do like this light, and I do think there is a value for this light. So, with all that being out of the way, let's cut to another section, and we're gonna go for what's in the light, as well as go into what I believe are gonna be the big negatives and get those out of the way. What's going on, everybody? As y'all can see, I am outside right now, and I figured this would be the good time to talk about what you get in the box, but also this would be time to sort of where we're going to be talking about the two biggest negatives that we have with this. So as you guys can see, there is a GVM case here and the reflector dish that would be supplies. Now, even though this is a case, I specifically asked GVM if they could send me a case, because with the AIO 500, there is no case that comes with it. It only comes with the shipping box that it came with and some styrofoam to hold everything together, which, given the weight of this light, I don't think this is a viable option in terms of a way of carrying it. Because this is going to fall apart. Even the Molus B500, which is significantly lighter than this light, it is the case that it comes with, while it is doable for sometimes so you can make use of it, it is already starting to wear off. So imagine something at 15 pounds. So I asked GVM to send this over to me to help me travel the light. Now, when I gave my feedback to GVM, they did inform me that there is a case that they are making and that they will make available for purchase. So keep an eye out for that. Obviously, that's going to affect the pricing of what you would get. Just letting you guys know, they have listened to us and our feedback, and they are making a case for it. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to just simply open this and show you what would come outside of the case, what comes with it. So what comes with it is, of course, the light itself, the cable, and the reflector dish. And the reason the reflector dish isn't in here is because the reflector dish just doesn't fit the case. It won't make it work. But these are the three things, which goes to, I guess, one of the pros is the fact that this is all you will need to get the light up and usable, is these three items. So my second and final major negative with the lights, and this is probably going to be make or break for you guys, but it is the weight. This light is 15 pounds. It is not a soft light. Now, as you can see, it's still small. It's still light enough that you can carry it in one hand, but so that's not the issue. And it has a very strong ballast. The issue is that if you're coming from something like the Zhiyun Molus B500s, where they're super wide, you can throw them on basically those cheap light stands that you can get from Amazon, you're gonna run, that is gonna put you into trouble. With something that this heavy at 15 pounds, you are going to want to basically have this light on combo stands. Like right now I have it on a C stand, and if I, like right now straight on, it's fine. But if I was trying to like boom it or maybe try to hang it out, this may be good. But just to say this, if you're going to put this on a C stand, you're going to want to make sure you follow the protocols of making sure the C stands are safety, which meaning the light or the weight of the light is going to be put on the biggest leg on a C stand. So make sure all the weight is facing that way so the weight can fall onto itself. That is going to be the thing that's going to probably have a lot of people. The other thing is, it's like there is no like USB. There's a sort of, I guess you could say this is kind of a pro and a con, depending on how you look at it. It's an extremely simplistic light, and that's sort of what GVM was going for with this light, is the fact that it's very easy to set up and ready to go. There's no other additional ports. It's just the power source. You've got one button to go into settings, and then another button that you can push and turn in order to go through your different modes. There's not a lot of finagling. The downside of it is that if this light is high enough that it could be out of your view sight. Now, luckily GVM does have a phone app. I have full control over the light and it works flawlessly. I haven't had any issues with the app. So if you're okay with using the app, and take control this way, otherwise you may have to bring this up and bring this down to make the different necessary changes that you want. So with the negatives out of the way, let's actually talk about the positives. Number one is the price. For the amount of output that you get to, which we will get to in a second, you're getting a 500 watt light for around $570. Now, this is roughly, if not the exact same price as the Molus B500, if you were to look on B&H and shop there. However, one of the big differences about these was not only the weight, but it's also the output, which I guess we're going to go right into. That is the key thing with this light. It's power. Essentially, what makes this light great is the fact that it's a little bit tighter of a beam, which means you're going to get a narrow field light, but it also allows the maximum intensity or the maximum intensity or output of the light be stronger and have a more powerful light. But what really sells this is the reflector dish. The reflector dish is what makes this all work. With the reflector dish that comes with it, which I believe is a 45-degree beam angle reflector dish, you are getting a huge amount of light. What's going on, everybody? How are you doing? I hope the camera is not, hopefully the camera is not focus hunting, because as I'm sitting in the dark right now. I have the lights turned off in my room because I wanted to really show, because this is ultimately the main point and the main reason why you would want to get this light, and that is purely for its output power. So right now I have the GVM outside on a C-stand. It is about 6 feet away from the doorway to my porch. So it's outside 6 feet from the door, and then that is about another 10 feet from where I am. So the reason you would get a light like this is because of its power, especially when you have the reflective dish that comes with it. So right now it is off, and I am going to get ready to turn the light on. And the light is on. As you can see, also we're on the GVM app and it works just fine. Right now my camera settings are at an f2.8, ISO 800. This is the Sony FX3 in S-Log3, and we are right now this side is anywhere between half a stop to just slightly under, half a stop under to getting a slight over. But just look at the pure output that we have, and this light right now is currently only at 26%. So with, as you can see, the amount of distance that we have, this is only 26% output with this light. And I guess this would be a good time to sort of explain sort of the difference between, you know, what a wattage is and actually output. The wattage, or how much power, in this case, again, this is a 500 watt. I think it's a little bit, I think it's like 580 watt maximum output. I think it's around there. But my point is, wattage is really more so about how much power is generating to the LEDs. While it does give us an idea of what the output of an LED light can do, they're getting much more intelligent with their designs, and people can be able to use these and throw a lot more power. And this is sort of really the selling point of this light, and that is the fact is how much output this light can throw when you actually when you have a more efficient LED output. Well, this is also something in Aperture's latest lines that we see in their Blair engines, where it's much more efficient. And with the GVM, again, it's great. Now, I will say there is a bit of a trade-off there in the fact that this huge output is really more on the cooler white end. So it has more cool whites than warm whites. So if you were trying to put this in tungsten, you would not, which I could show you guys right now. I'll throw it to tungsten. And if I go to my exposures, yeah, I lost about, I would say, half a stop of light value based on what I'm seeing right here. So if I was to go back to 5600 Kelvin, and yeah, there's about a half stop. There's about a half stop difference in terms of output between 5600 Kelvin and 3200 Kelvin, which all in all is not as big of a deal. This is just something to be aware of. But yeah, again, I'm only at 26%. So, but also just seeing how much output you can throw in with a third-party modifier, something like the Nanlite Fresnel that I've been using for years. And the amount of output that you get is just insane. The amount of output that you get out of this light is perfect for situations where you need a light thrown through like a window, as I've been showing, but also it is great for book lighting. The other positivity that I gotta talk about with the light is just its simple design. It really is plug and play, and it's absolutely love it. I actually had a PA doing this dock shoot with me where I just told him to turn it on and plug it in, and he was able to figure it out easily. It's really simple. You just plug it in, you turn it on, and all you have to do is either punch in to switch between intensity and CCT, and then you just use the scroll knob to actually set either intensity or CCT. And on the light itself, that is it. However, you can get more control of the light if you use GVM's app. Now there's two apps that you could use. I have found that GVM LED is the one that works for me. This may be a difference between, say, Apple and Android. So if you're on an Apple, I would say use GVM LED. If you are using an Android, I would say GVM Link would probably be best suited for you. So just something to keep in mind. But if you want more control of the light, you can use the app, and the app works great. It's very simple, very easy to use. And the other beauty thing I do like about the app is that you don't have to put anything, you don't have to put any information like your email or anything, or an account. You don't have to create an account. You literally just turn the light on, reset the Bluetooth, and then you go into the app, and then basically you find the light, boom, it connects, and you're good. So simple applications, I love that. This may be something a little small, but it's something that I really do appreciate. This has got to be one of the best Bowens Mount release system that I have used. And by the way, I just got the Aperture 400X with the positive lock, which is great, but I found that it can be finicky or try to finical it. With the GVM's release app, it's just push in, lock, done. And it has one of the best design releases that I've had. The last thing I want to talk about is in terms of positivity is the build quality. Now, it is not an IP rated light, so I definitely still wouldn't recommend using it in something like the rain or like dust. I would probably go to something like the AIO 700 or the AIO 1200 if you want to get those IP rating lights. But having said that, the build quality is still great. No, just the front part of the light is made of plastic, and I believe just a little bit of the back is made of plastic, but the majority of the light is covered in metal or aluminum. So really tough, really built. Also goes into why it also weighs a ton. So, but still, that's great. I will say in terms of the fan noise is, I would say it's pretty quiet. I also want to say, let me take a look at the fan noise, because this is noticeable too, but I'm going to be quiet so you can hear. Now, keep in mind, once again, I am like right next to the light. So this is not a scenario where you're going to be having a talking head or somebody talking while using this light. I think this will be a good time to go into my real world experience, which is I use this as a key light for 2 different projects that I did, but I'll talk about the most recent one first, which was a doc shoot. It was the second day of a doc shoot that I've been working on since last year as DP. And basically I had, in the first interview, we set up a book light that was on the opposite side of the camera, and it basically just shot it, and we weren't even using it at full power, I believe. And this was going off of an ultra bounce into a 6x6 bleach muslin. And if you guys know, bleach muslin cuts out a significant amount of light. So with that bleach muslin, and it was probably a distance about, I have to say like 15 feet away from our subject, and it was the output was only at 40%, which is insane to say. It was only like 40% output in this book light scenario, and it worked. And the shot, it's one of my favorite shots that I had, and it worked fantastically. And then we had 2 other interviews that day where we used it as our key, where we went through the Zhiyun 90cm softbox as our first break, and then we put it through the 6x6 bleach muslin as a double break. So it created this really nice, really soft looking image for our other two interviews, and the footage comes out great. Again, and we were not using the full power of the light, so we had so much room to use. And then the second time I used it was actually not a paid gig, but it was actually at a networking event where I was doing a presentation, and we decided to set up our own talking head system to show our capabilities. And we basically lit and had the host comes out, and this was a really good testing because we were aiming directly against a window and so we were obviously going to be fighting sunlight. And I think we were at I think 60% just going through and we were just going through the Zhiyun 90cm softbox, and it looked great. Now, in comparison to the Molus B500, I personally like both of these lights serve different purposes. But in terms of just build quality, in terms of output, and in terms of just design, I really do like the GVM a bit more than the Molus B500. But I got to counteract that it's still much heavier, and I think the packaging that Zhiyun delivers with the Molus B500, even though it does come with a cardboard case, it is a case that you can travel around and take care easily. Whereas the GVM comes just with the shipping box and the styrofoam, which is not as easy to carry, as I mentioned prior. But as I've also said, GVM has acknowledged that they are making a case for that, so I just want to reiterate that. I would then also go on to say that the Molus B500, in terms of a portable light, if I know I'm going to be moving around a lot and I need to go set up stuff quickly, the Molus B500 is going to be my go-to light, because one, I can use it on just regular old light stands, and I don't have to worry about it potentially tipping over or anything. And and it's relatively compact. It's easy to put into places where you may need to be working in smaller rooms. So in those instances, to me, the Molus B500 from Zhiyun is the light I would go to. So long story short, in terms of travel, portability, and I guess better readiness, I would say the Molus B500 from Zhiyun is the option that, if that's something you look for, that favors you, there's something to look at. However, if you favor output, if you favor build quality, if you favor light quality overall, even fan noise, the fan noise is slightly quieter than the Molus B500, then the GVM AIO 500B is going to be the better suited light. You're just going to sacrifice a little bit of like weights and stuff. It's just heavier, and you're going to have to use more sturdy or reliable stands for it. So who is the GVM AIO 500B for? Me personally, I feel the GVM is for indie filmmakers that really need to pump out a lot of light. If you're looking for something that can go through large diffusions, if you're working in larger spaces, if you're doing something outside, the GVM is just going to be better suited, because it just throws out way more light than its competitor like the Molus B500. However, if you shoot weddings where you're constantly moving, if you're doing travel videos, or where you need to go places and travel, and you need to be light on your feet, and if you're working in smaller shooting locations, then the Molus B500 is going to be the better option in this scenario. So overall, my final thoughts is I really do love the GVM AIO 500B. I think in terms of what it's designed for, which is power, is the number one thing. Power, durability, and basically output. It's really about output, and that's really the selling point of this light. You need a lot of light, and you need a lot of light output. This, for $570, there's really not a lot of option to do it. It also is just very simple to use. Even the most green of PAs or anybody that may be helping you with a project can figure out how to navigate through, especially on the actual light head itself. It's very simple and easy to use. It's very simple to set up. Doesn't take a long time. And overall, I really have to say I highly recommend the GVM AIO 500B for all you indie filmmakers that are looking for a really powerful light. But that's going to do it for me today. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the GVM. Let me know, leave your comments down below. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, until next time, take care, everyone.